don't know if it's working actually. Can you guys see me? I don't know if this is working or not. Aha! We are live on the YouTubes. Hi guys! I'm here. I'm not sure if anybody's actually watching. I've got my trusty iPad because I'm feeling like having my wee live moment. But yeah, I don't know if anybody is here yet or if anybody's going to show up. But in either case, I'm just going to start and hopefully you guys will tune in later, or maybe some of you will pop in during the stream. Anyway, it's been a minute, hasn't it? Obviously I just posted a video recently about my channel update and things that are expected to happen in the near future, and I did mention that I wanted to start doing live streams like this as like one of the first things. Oh, let me check the audio actually, just really quick. Okay, it's working. Very important. Yeah, I mentioned that I wanted to do live streams like this with you guys because it would be a good way for me to just like make content fairly easily and be able to communicate with you guys in real time, which would also be great. But obviously there's also the fact that I know you guys are all in different time zones and obviously everybody's got a life, so I appreciate that you guys won't always be able to tune in, which is completely fine if you can't as well. Like I said, these are just videos that you can watch when you're available, and we can still chit chat in the comments and stuff afterwards as well. So if any of you ever tune in, please do leave me comments even if you aren't watching live, because I'd still love to chat with you. Anyway, today, what are we going to be talking about? Let's check our master list. So, I've picked 5 topics, because I felt like if we do too much, it'll be too long. I'm going to try and keep this under an hour. But I did want to talk about some of the big things that have happened this month, like one of them is happening right now. Like, I was not ready for that actually. So of course we'll talk about Jungkook, we'll talk about TXT's comeback, we'll talk about Yoongi's military service, which is what we're going to start with actually, the contract renewal, and something exciting coming in October as well. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Oh, I think somebody just entered. Say hi if you're here. I'd love to shout you out, but anyway. Yeah, so we're starting off with Yoongi. Actually, I have very mixed feelings about Yoongi going to the military. Of course it's sad. Of course when we all saw that "hello, this is big hit" message, we all had like that same like gut drop. But I'm kind of happy because I was really worried that because he's had his surgery he would end up doing active duty, which if you don't know, I'm sure most of you guys know this by now, especially if you've been keeping up to the news on Twitter, but in Korea you can do active service, which is being like in the military, in the army, the navy, or the air force, and then you can do public service, which is basically like office jobs, civil workers, police work, that kind of stuff. It's usually very admin though, it's not very physical, and I was really hoping that Yoongi would get a public worker position, which he did in the end because of his shoulder, so I was really relieved at that. But at the same time, I was still worried because being a public worker, you're in the public. Like, it's very easy for people to find out where you're working, and there is a chance you could be stationed in like a very public place, like a subway station or a post office or like some sort of like public office that people visit quite frequently, which would obviously leave them open to like stalking situations, which, I mean, judging by the recent notice that we got from Big Hit, clearly has been a problem. Oh, Anusha, hi, welcome, thank you for joining. I'm so happy someone's here. Anyway, hi. So I was a bit concerned about that. And then also, of course, the service is longer, but I don't know when this change happened, but they've reduced the public service worker time from 24 months to 21 months. So he'd still be coming back in like June, July of 2025, which means if all the members go by December, they should all be back by June, July 2025, which is basically what we wanted. So that's like super exciting as well. And this is so minuscule, but this is just like my level of delulu. This is how I manage my life. Just knowing that Yoongi is an office worker, I technically work in the office, like going to work every day, just like I'm going to work like Yoongi, I'm coming home from work like Yoongi, even though I work longer hours than he does. But like that mental comfort is really, like, what's the word? Comforting. Yeah, like it's really comforting. It's really encouraging and motivating. And I'm kind of happy as well because obviously he has a bit more freedom than some of the other members will have, in that he can come home every evening, he can relax. Actually, I haven't mentioned what my new job is at the moment. Well, I wouldn't really call it a new job. It's kind of like an in-between job at the moment. But I work 2 jobs. So one is business English language teacher. So basically I teach business English to adults, usually people in like their 40s or 50s, a few younger than that. But one of my students, oh, that's my first job, and my second job is a freelance marketer for some government blah 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 blah. I just wanted to keep marketing going as so that there's no gap in my CV, because next year I do want to go back into marketing in the entertainment industry like I've been doing thus far. And we'll talk about why I left my previous job in another video that's coming very soon, so look forward to that. It's already recorded and it's half edited, so it is actually coming, I promised. But yeah, I actually have a student who is a career military man. Like, he's been in the military for like 20 years or something like that, which was great because he actually had a class with me like just a couple days ago, so I was able to ask him so many questions that I had about what Yoongi's military service might be like. And he was like, it's very unlikely that Yoongi will have to shave his head before he goes to the 3-week boot camp, which unfortunately for the 3-week boot camp, everybody has to shave. So that's unavoidable. But until then, he'll get to keep his hair. I don't know if he can have it as long as he wants, but he can at least have hair, essentially. And I actually had another student, like I haven't had a chance to see this guy again. I've only seen him once, but he was actually in the military, doing his military service as a public office worker, and he had like a full head of hair, like the typical Korean hairstyle with the bowl cut and the kind of like mullet kind of thing going on. And he was like 2 months out from finishing his service, so from the looks of it, it looks like he's going to be able to keep his hair pretty much the whole time and still pretty much have some sort of a life. And I feel like it would be quite interesting as well, because Yoongi himself has said that he wants to know what it feels like to be like a regular working person, you know? So I think that could be really fun for him, just to experience that 9 to 5. Like, I know for myself, when I was a student, when I was a kid, I thought that a 9 to 5 would be the worst thing ever. Having grown up and actually started working and matured a bit, I'm like, you know what, actually a 9 to 5 is not too bad. I mean, it's not exactly the best thing in the world either, but as long as you have that work-life balance, you're not doing too much overtime and stuff like that, it's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, more people have come in. I can't see who you guys are, but thank you for joining. Hi! Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are enjoying so far. Feel free to leave comments and I'll respond to you as they come up and I can see them. But yeah, we're just talking about the different things that have happened this month so far. So obviously the first thing that happened was Yoongi's enlistment, and I think we've got the best result that we're gonna get. Like I said, at the rate we're going, if everybody goes by December, everybody will be back by June, July 2025, which is what we want. And then, as Tay has requested, they can be whisked away by the Bon Voyage staff, and that's them gone. Oh, hi Nanny. Welcome to the stream. And obviously right after Yoongi's military enlistment announcement, we also got the news that the members have re-signed their contracts. Let's go. I mean, we knew it was gonna happen. Like, actually it's kind of irritating me because every time something happens with BTS's contracts or their like military service, the media is like, oh my gosh, the BTS members are all gonna go to the military, or oh my gosh, the BTS members are going to the military. And it's like, they already said they were going. Like, Big Hit announced like at the end of last year that all the members were gonna go this year. We've known for like forever that they're all gonna go this year, but whenever someone announces they're going, they're like, oh my gosh, what's happening again? I work random shifts. Yeah, literally. I used to work in, what, Zara and Swarovski, and I did that as well, like morning shift, night shift, followed by another morning shift, midday shift. It's so annoying. So I completely agree with you. Sometimes just having that set schedule can be really, like really, not comforting is not the right word. Work is never comforting, but like easier to plan your life and like manage your energy and actually have fun and do things and meet people. Like right now I work from 7 AM to 9:30 PM in the evening, and as brutal as that schedule is, I must say it's really doing a lot for my insomnia because I'm just so tired by the end of the day that I have to sleep. So there are pros to cons to a routine, but honestly, as much as I like things to be a little bit spontaneous, having a work routine is actually kind of OP in my opinion. Anyway, back to the topic of the contract renewal. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It's really nice anyway that they've all signed early. Like, and honestly, I feel like this is gonna sound a bit controversial because I know some people are like, if you say anything good about Big Hit, you're a company stan and blah 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 blah, but I don't care. So like, I know people don't like to praise Big Hit because they are a company, I get it, they're profit driven, I completely see that, but I don't think that means they're completely like morally bankrupt either. I do genuinely think, especially as someone who's been a K-pop fan for like 16 years now, I've seen SMs, right, well, they're still falling, but you know what I mean. I've seen YGs fall for sure. And then JYP is kind of in the middle, honestly. JYP is actually, when it comes to idol treatment, they're kind of neutral. They just don't do anything with their artists, which is annoying sometimes. But like, I must say that I feel like big hit music specifically, I'm not talking for all of HYBE, but big hit music specifically for Ehyun, for TXT, for BTS, there's a reason those guys have stayed. Like, even BTS, before BTS, Ehyun has been with HYBE for like, with big hit for like, I want to say a decade before BTS debuted. So there's a reason he stayed there for so long, and there's a reason that BTS keep renewing early, because mind you, BTS could totally do what, there's a group called Shinhwa where they were under SM and the entire group left SM, made their own company, and then had a comeback. So if BTS really hated being in big hit, they could totally do that. They have the means, they have the popularity, like ARMY's not going anywhere, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I get that big hit is a company, HYBE is a company, but I do feel like not enough credit is given to the fact that Big Hit does treat BTS and TXT really well, in my personal opinion, from what we can see anyway. And yeah, I think the fact that the members re-signed early is a testament to that. It's a testament to their commitment to the group, which is also something that I'm just like, I say I personally, but like every ARMY I'm sure is very grateful for. But again, having seen so many careers of so many K-pop artists throughout the years, I think the only other group that I can really say is really tied to their group work, the only other two groups I can say are tied to their group work would be GOT7 and SHINee, because they had the opportunity to, but SHINee is still under SM, so they've still kind of, they're obligated to do group stuff, but they obviously really care for their group. You can tell that by the way the members interact. And then obviously GOT7 left JYP as a collective, but they all, what do you call it? They all went to separate companies but continued to work as GOT7. I think they do like a 6-month group focus, 6-month individual focus kind of schedule. I'm not too sure, but it's nice to see that dichotomy can happen. And who knows, maybe that's what we'll see for BTS, although from the way the members talk about it, it looks like they just want to do group stuff, which I mean, I'm all here for. Opinion on VCHA. What does that stand for? I know it's probably, it's a music award, right? It's a music award, right? Yeah, tell me what it is and I'll get to think, Bob. I was thinking of GOT7 when you mentioned Shinhwa. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think also that's another reason why I had to shout out JYP, because again, none of these companies are perfect, but the fact that they let GOT7 keep their rights to their music and the rights to their like name and logo and fandom and all that stuff after they left the company is really just a good, like, sportsmanship is not the word, but it's just like, it's a good faith act, you know, where it shows that, okay, you guys have worked hard under a company for X amount of years, you've given us this much profit, we're happy for you to continue. JYP's new global, oh, is, okay, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't keep up with other idols that much, but is this the girl group where it's like all the members are foreigners, and it's that whole conversation again of like, dude, there doesn't need to be a foreigner in a group to make it a K-pop group. Is it that? I'll wait for your reply and I'll get back to you. But yeah, anyway, like, I'm really happy to see all the members re-signed with the company, and also the drama that went around with the re-signing. So I'm going off Twitter reporting here. I'm not gonna act like I know anything more about this than anybody else, but the fact that they had to have like a board meeting and then agree to the terms of the contracts they were offering to BTS, people, the word on the grapevine is that it's because they were giving them massive re-signing payouts, which is basically a bonus you get for re-signing the contract at that moment before you've even done anything for the contract. And I think someone was saying that it's supposed to be like 21 million USD. I don't know if that's per member or in total, but something crazy like that anyway. And I'm just like, this is what I mean when I say that as much as they're a company, they clearly do treat their artists well, because nobody's going to dispute the fact that BTS deserves that. And obviously them taking it to the board members is basically saying, we want to do this, we just need your approval because we're a public company. That's how boards of directors work, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's really cool to see that. It was really cool to see June post his contract on Instagram as well. Like, such a power move. That man is so sexy for no reason. But yeah, it was really cool to see all the hype and the energy, and like I said, coming right after Yoongi's enlistment announcement, it was just like, they always give us like, in Korean there's a proverb, not a proverb, like an idiom where it's like hurting someone and then giving them medicine. It's like that as well with BTS. It's like they give us bad news and they instantly negate it with some good news. And I honestly, personally, I really appreciate that, because the emotional roller coasters these guys send me on sometimes is probably not healthy, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, back to Nani. You said yes. I'm assuming that's yes about the girl group thing that I asked. That's a loaded question. I haven't seen any of their performances. I don't know their background in terms of how they were trained and all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, and this is something that I had to think about for a really long time, because I know this has been a conversation that people have had for like ages, like what makes a K-pop group a K-pop group, right? And I think, for me, K-pop is not a genre, it's an industry. It's the trainee system, it's the visuals, it's the music videos, it's the style of interaction between the artist and the fans. All that kind of stuff encompassed is what makes up K-pop, in my personal opinion. And so I would say, if they are following all those things, if they've trained in the typical K-pop trainee style, if they sing in Korean is very important. This Korean pop. If they have all the outfits and styles that K-pop idols do, and if they do all like the inkigayo and all that kind of stuff, I feel like promoting in Korea is also a requirement. Like, I know there's groups like Wavy, who they're primarily just in China, but I don't see them as a K-pop group. I just see them as a K-pop style Chinese group, if that makes sense. So I think that would be my condition for what makes them qualify as a K-pop group. As I said, I don't know anything about them beyond the fact that they exist, so I can't really give an opinion as if they as a group are specifically K-pop, but that would be the criteria that I would use to determine that, personally. Okay, excuse me. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Playing in the background, we have Jungkook 3D, and okay. I thought long and hard about how I was gonna present this. I'm being just very honest with you guys. I'm not crazy about the song. Like, I don't dislike it, but it's not like I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever heard either. It's just an okay song for me. It's a good song, but it's not like super special, like, oh my god, this is so unique, this is so fascinating. Like, for me personally, that's how I feel about it. It's something I wouldn't skip, but I wouldn't like actively search through my playlist to listen to. That's my impression so far. Bearing in mind it's only a day. Give me another week and then we could be somewhere completely different, because sometimes it'd be like that. But what I will say is that, firstly, I hate the feature. And I feel like that's a general consensus that most people feel as well. Okay, I'm glad to see some of you guys agree with me. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the lyrics for Jack Harlow, is that his name? That's the one, yeah. A lot of people don't like the lyrics for Jack Harlow's part. If I'm honest, I'm kind of indifferent. I mean, having grown up listening to 90s R&B, noughties R&B, and hip-hop, and all that kind of stuff, and hearing the crude, lewd things that have been said in all those songs, it doesn't really bother me at this point. And I mean, that's to each their own, ultimately. If you're not comfortable with that kind of like overtly sexual and also very crudely phrased lyric, I completely get that. For me, the bit that really pissed me off is the flow. Like, everybody was so hyped about this guy. I have no idea who Jack Harlow is. I'm being very forthcoming with you guys. So I was like, okay, people are really excited about him as a rapper. People are saying really good things. I'm like, okay, let's give him a chance. And I'm not one of those people who's like, white people can't rap. I don't believe that personally. So I was like, okay, let's get to it. And then once he started rapping, I was just like, is this it? Like, the flow was just so all over the place. I completely understand that your rhyme scheme does not have to be AA, BB, or AB, AB, or whatever. Like, you can do some syncopation and all that kind of stuff, but it still has to be in time with the music. Like, it was just so offbeat. It just felt like it was recorded separately, and they had just tried to, like, edit it on top of the song. Like, especially the last verse at the end completely left the song feeling unfinished for me. I was like, what is it's like so jarring. Every time I hear it, I'm like, what is going on? Anisha says, it was very underwhelming. Yeah, honestly, that's how I felt, especially after 7. For me, 7 was like chef's kiss. Like the first, like as soon as the song started, I was like, this song is a bop. You know what I mean? Like this song is gonna rule the summer, and it has done. Like it's not come down from the billboards, right? So I was like, especially considering this is like the follow-up, I was expecting something on that level. So to get this, I was just like, JK, my G, like come on. And then Anisha says, what? It was underwhelming. I don't like the one girl. Again, for me, the lyrics, I knew, honestly, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, people are gonna have a problem with these lyrics. I knew it, because it wasn't, I don't mind something that's a little bit lewd, but it wasn't really tasteful either. Oh, I just realized, sorry. This shows you how unexperienced I am with streaming. I actually had pictures prepared that I haven't been using, but we'll continue from now. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, the lyrics are lewd, but then lewd in a way that's not even tasteful. Like, obviously the whole song is about sex. Let's just be real. The whole song is about, you know what it's about anyway. And that's fine. Like, people keep saying he's a grown man, Jungkook's a grown man, he can talk about those things if he wants to. I completely agree. I mean, I'm definitely, I am a depraved hard stan, so I am not going to tell anybody not to talk about anything sexual in nature. Like, do you, boo. But Jack's part was just so on the nose, I guess. Like, it was too aggressive, I guess, is what is making a lot of people uncomfortable, especially because we're a fandom with older people in it as well. And when I say older, I just mean older than me. So I'm not saying you're old. Personally, I feel like I'm old anyway. But like, we have people who are 40, 50, 60 in our fandom who are going to be a bit more conservative about that kind of stuff, or at least that way of speaking as well, which, as much as we might enjoy innuendos, we don't want to hear those overt lines. It's just like you're saying as well, like the one girl, two girl, three girl part. I was like, and also when he said ABGs and there were no Asian girls in the line, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it just felt so, like, also why? Just why? Like, the song did not need him. He didn't add anything to the song. Okay, anyway, so all the things I don't like apart, let's talk about things I actually do like. Firstly, I agree with the general consensus, the alternative version is better. Still, the overall song is kind of just mid for me. But what I do really like is the music video. And I actually, even from the teaser photos, I was like, this is giving me Liberty X, which, if you're like younger than 25, you're probably not gonna know who the hell that is. Hello, Eliminated's faves. Welcome to the chat. Who are your faves? Question. Anyway, I digress. Sorry. What was I saying? See, this is what happened if you ADHD. The music video, yeah. So I really loved the vibe of the music video. The story was very simple. Like, it was just him on the phone and then dancing in the street, which, I mean, sometimes less is more anyway. I don't think it really needed like a complex storyline the way that 7 had, but 7 was really fun as well. If I had to rate them, I would give 7 a 10 out of 10, and I would give 3D's music videos, these are, an 8 out of 10. Like, I really still enjoyed it. The scene when they're dancing in the rain especially, absolutely amazing. Or not the rain, but like the fire hydrant, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I really like that part. Liberty X, for those of you who don't know, I believe they were a co-ed group, so girls and guys, and they always, for all their music videos, I actually don't know how many members there were, but for all their music videos, they always had like a big group of people dancing like that in their music videos. I wish I had a picture or something to show you, but I'm very familiar with that kind of vibe, and that's kind of what came to mind first for me when I saw this music video. I know a lot of people saying Justin Timberlake, and I can see that as well, but that's what came to me first. With 7, it gave me full-on Craig David. Like, he also has, I think his song is called 7. It's also like, I met this girl on Monday, took her for a drink on Tuesday, we were making love by Wednesday, etc, etc, etc. But it gave me that kind of vibe as well because of the actual sound of the song. And I love that. Like, that's nostalgia for me. That's my childhood for me. I grew up listening to music like that. So it's nice to see that, and it's very cute, especially as Jungkook is like the younger part of our well, I'm a millennial, he's a Gen Z, but like for me, that's like we're in the same generation kind of still. So yeah, it was really cute to see that. The performance video that we just got, oh, it's literally playing my favorite part right now. Oh, it's just finished, but like it's literally the part right after. Oh, I just realized you guys can't even see it. Sorry. Let me go back. It's this part right after where Jack's rap is. This bit right here. This shit is so sexy. Anyway, moving on. Let's put that back. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the performance videos that he's given us, and I'm sure we're gonna get more stages. Maybe he might even do another round of promotions. And this is just, I'm putting this out there, I'm putting this in the universe. As soon as the Chuseok vacation is over, I think we're gonna get his album announcement finally, and then the album's gonna come out early to mid-November. So I'm very excited for that. Which is all the more reason that I wanted 3D to be good, because I was like, this is probably gonna be like the main pre-release track before the album. That's what I was expecting anyway. Who knows? The song is just okay for me. I don't care that JK is singing about sex, he's a grown man, but Jack Ho lyrics are just not it. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Haven't watched the performance video. Sorry for the spoilers. Sorry. I highly recommend you watch it. It's really fun. It's really nice, actually. It's one of my favourite performance videos because there is just like the tiniest bit of acting at the beginning as well, so it's a bit more like visually intriguing, you know what I mean? But yeah, the phone sucks so bad. Like, it just irritated me. Anyway, I digress. Okay, moving on to our next topic, something that is making me happy. Let's talk about TXT for a minute. And I don't know how many of you guys are TXT fans, but I am, so too bad. So, TXT have, oh wait, wrong picture, wait for it. Recently released their first two concept photos. Directions. There we go. Reality and Melancholy. Somebody said that these are like reworkings of old concepts they've done, and they've just kind of made them like grungy, which I mean, I'm 1000% here for. One of my favourite title tracks from TXT was 001 Love Song, which has the same kind of vibe as the reality concept photos. So I'm all here for it. The Rain, in fact, let's actually talk about the individual concept photos because I have so much to say. These boys, oh, no army, okay, wonderful. I'm glad someone in the chat is enjoying this as much as I am. Okay, wait, let me have a drink for a moment because we're about to get thirsty, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. By the way, this is not sponsored. Oh yeah, I should do the Korean thing where I like cover up the logos. Sorry. Anyway, so where do I even begin? I'm looking at the pictures, by the way. These first concept photos are actually killing me, and the fact that some of the members say these are not their favourite photos, it's very stressful because these are already my favourite photos. Sumin with this fake lip ring, and you know what, funny thing, I'm not actually that crazy about face piercings, no offense Jungkook. It's just not my style, it's just not my thing. I'm really into ear piercings, but I'm just not into face piercings that much. But sometimes there's just one or two that just look really good on some people, and the fake lip piercing on Subin is giving me life. Like, it's just, it's making me question many things. This is another thing as well, I'm not a hard stand for TXT. Let me put this disclaimer out here. I'm 28 years old. These boys, I have two younger brothers. One is, how old am I? I'm 28. One is 25 and the other one is 23. So for me, like, younger men are just, I see them like I see my younger brothers. Like, the mental age is just the same in my eyes. And bearing in mind my youngest brother is the same age as Subin. So I'm like, no, I can't see them as men. That being said, I see why other people see them as men. These pictures, as far as I'm concerned, are like tasteful thirst traps, you know? Like, they're so handsome. They're so, yeah, the leather jacket and the leather overalls on Yeonjun. The pictures I picked for each member are like my favourite out of the ones that we've been given. So Yeonjun's photo, like, he's just giving us like the fashion, like the model. He's just giving everything. He knows he's fine. Let's be real, he knows he's fine. And he just gives 100% every photo shoot, and I live for it. It's amazing. No, they're killing me as well, like, seriously. I'm 33, I know what you mean. Literally, like, it feels so wrong, especially when I started standing them when they were still minors. I was like, I need to be very careful like what I say or even what I feel like internally, because I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea, you know? But like, it's really weird, especially because when I started standing K-pop idols, I was what, 13, and I was standing men who were like 20. So I've gone through the whole spectrum of like standing someone who's way too old for me, standing people who are my age, and now I'm standing people who are way too young for me. So it's a bit jarring, honestly. But yeah, Yeonjun, this whole leather fit, the vibe, the pose, everything, it was doing a lot. It was doing a lot. Like, it was really hard even just to pick which picture is my favourite. Bongyu, the hair. That's end of conversation. I love men with long hair. Call me a basic bitch, I don't care. This is giving, like I said, 0 by 1 love song. It's giving Love a Loser. The colour as well is really good on him. Like, it's giving like the Bongyu Bear vibes. So it's just beautiful. And just this vibe right now as well is I say this every single time I buy merch, but TXT's creative design team are like insane. Like, they're just so good. They're just so good. I hope all of them are getting paid. The same way that Tae and Yoongi were talking about the BTS staff getting paid, I hope the TXT design team are getting paid, because they are killing it every time. Taehyun looks like a guy out of a K-drama, always. Like, I call him my baby prince. Like, that's what he is to me. He just looks like he's always giving face, so there's not even much to be said. And then Hunikai. Lord have mercy. Hunikai has put me through it, this comeback. Oh, the comeback has not even started. This man is looking so fine. Like, the blonde has always been my favourite colour on Hunikai anyway, because he doesn't dye his hair that often. But when he did blonde for I want to say 0 by 1 love song. Yeah, wait, no. Is it Love and Loser? I don't remember. But around Chaos Chapter, when he did the blonde before, I was like, yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly, that's my point. But this time around, the blonde with the smoky eye, yeah, I don't even have words to say. There are no words to describe how like satisfying, absolutely just wow, just wow, just wow. And it's also giving me like, Hunikai specifically is giving me like GBGB vibes as well, and one of the best music videos. Sugar Rush Ride is the best music video, but GBGB is up there. So yeah, I'm living. Blonde Huni was doing during the Chaos Chapter, yeah, exactly. So he's, I think the blonde on Huning is just, it just makes sense. In the same way that Jimin is a natural blonde, Huning is a natural blonde. That's just how I see it. Looking at the second concept photos, which came out just this morning, Korea time. Again, somebody said this was the Japanese version. This is like the grand version of One. If you know, you know. Anyway, anyway, I digress. I again love these outfits. We're gonna start with Kabao because the wolf and the Huning combination, that's dangerous. Like, whoever thought of that, I hope you sleep very well tonight. I hope you're eating some expensive beef. I hope you're like staying in a luxury hotel. I hope you're sitting in a jacuzzi right now, because you, my friend, you deserve a break. Like, this, wow. You really had a vision, and the vision is like, I can see it. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The wolf and Huning combination unlocked something in my mind that I don't think I was ready for. Oh my goodness, like, the hair matching the eye, double takes, triple takes, quadruple takes, like, honestly, I've come back to this picture more times than I care to admit. Just, wow. I will never see this boy as a penguin again, I'm sorry. Like, I think petition to change Hunikai's emoji. I'm that far gone at this point. Like, I was impressed. No, it's just his plushie he brought during the phone. Could you imagine? Okay, now, sorry, this is very off. This is very random. This is where my mind goes after that comment. I've just seen Hunikai graduating from plushie to like stuffed animals, which I know is a bit macabre, but that's what your comment just did to my brain. I'm sorry. You made me think it, so I had to share it. Moving forward. Taehyun, again, honestly, Taehyun is my bias, but I don't even have much to say because I'm just like, oh, his face. Like, that's honestly how I feel every time I see him. Like, I feel like he has to, I think as well, coming out of blue-haired era Taehyun that we got for the Sweet Mirage tour, black hair, honestly, I'm gonna just be very honest with you, black hair is so boring to me for every idol, for everyone. Even if it looks good, I'm just like, but you could have done this with like a silver or something and it would still be just as good, but better, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Taehyun's pictures, love them, love the attitude, love the face he's giving, still looking like a prince, still looking like he should be male leading in a K-drama, but I don't have anything special to say. Bongyu, again, the long hair is, this picture is giving me like, how do I even describe this? It's giving me like genderless. Like, as a queer person, as a non-binary person, that just, the androgyny appeals to me as well. Like, it's just giving me like, is that a he? Is that a they? Is that a she? I don't know why, but that's just like the vibe that I like. The lovelorn, like the drama his face is giving as well, I'm very into it. And also just the shagginess as well. Like, I feel like this Bongyu is different from Bongyus we've seen before because he's not super soft, but he's not also like, usually when Bongyu gives us sexy, he gives us like playfully sexy. Like, I know I'm sexy and I know you know I'm sexy. Like that kind of vibe, right? But this is like an effortlessly sexy. Like, he's not even trying. Like, does that make sense? I don't even know. I'm still processing, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going through it. Yeonjun, again, born model. Are we surprised? Honestly, half of these pictures are not even concept photos. They're just photo shoots. Like, honestly, it's like you could put these in a magazine. I would completely believe that's what these were taken for. So nothing he does at this point surprised me. He looks fine as hell. We've been new, and we're going to continue to know because he'll continue to show us. And Subin, my baby, my love. I would work on Taehyun if the strands are grey or white. Like, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can always add to black to make it just that little bit better. Just a little bit, you know? There's always more you can do. Same thing for Subin. In this photo, he's kind of got like a little bluish hue to his hair, but I think that's just lighting. I love, this is very side, or like off track again, but I love the outfit they've got him in. Like, the mix, also just for all of them, like the mix between the grungy t-shirts, the denim, and then the soft lace. Like, that's what I mean again with that like androgyny, genderless like vibe, where it's mixing these really soft elements with these really like grungy, hard, aggressive elements. I just love that. Subin's outfit is my inspiration for the concerts because they've given us our, what do you call this thing? Dress code. They told us to come and wear pink, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna make this like gender neutral, but I'm gonna try because that's my vibe. And I saw Subin's picture and I was like, I don't know how, but this is the inspiration. Like, this is what we're going off. This is the energy we're gonna try and I just realized I have a overcoat, a lace overcoat that is basically very similar to this. Okay, I think I know what I'm wearing. Okay, I know part of what I'm wearing, and we'll talk about that in another video another day. But yeah, this whole vibe, I need these photo cards. Oh, that's another thing. The photo cards that come out of this album, good lord, they're gonna be so expensive. I recommend you guys just buy the albums because I can already tell these photo cards are gonna cost an arm and a leg. Like, stress. Speaking of photo cards, if anybody's looking for Subin Blue Hour, I have 3 for sale, so check out my website. But yeah, I'm very excited for the photo cards. And I can see also why they gave us so many photo cards this comeback, because I mean, with pictures like this, there's no way you can narrow it down, you know what I mean? Like, you just have to put everything out there. So I'm like, let's go. Okay, so moving forward, the final thing I wanted to talk about today is the other thing that I'm looking for. Actually, no. I lied. Before we move forward, I have one more thing to say about TXT. And this one's not a good thing. Okay, excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. Okay, on the topic of TXT, I have a bone to pick with Big Hit, because if Uniqlo's photo cards has the wolf, I want it. If it doesn't have the wolf, I will send the truck to me. No, I'm joking. But like, yeah, I fully agree with you. It needs to be in there. In fact, I feel like the wolf should be at least in one of all the members' photo cards. I think it would be cute. No? Is that too much? I don't know. Anyway, I digress. The last thing about TXT. They are having the final concert in December, which is stressing me out because like, only BTS so far are the only idol that I stat that are not doing something in December. TXT are doing something in December, Epic High are doing something in December, and my OG Junsu from TVXQ is doing something in December, and I'm like, guys, I already have so much money, like, calm down, please. So yeah, anyway, but yes, more importantly, there is no raffle for this concert, which, firstly, it's annoying because, I'm just being really honest, this is very like petty, but I usually get in for most raffles, so the fact there's no raffle is like, man, this is already reducing my chances significantly. But also, ticketing for TXT has been getting progressively harder. Like, even for the last concert, I barely managed to buy a single VIP ticket for TXT's concert in March, and I know it's going to be harder because that last comeback was like, Sugar Rush Ride was an amazing comeback. Oh my goodness, my favourite TXT album to date. So I know the competition is going to be harder, and not just that, they've made it so that they only have two cells, the Moa cell and then the general cell, right? And during the Moa cell, you can only buy one ticket per day. But for the first time in, I want to say like half a decade at least, for a big hit idol, they've made it so that during general sales, you can actually buy 2 tickets per person. And I think it's because they think it won't sell out. And I think that's stupid, mind you, because I know TXT are more popular overseas than they are in Korea, but they are by no means not popular in Korea. It does suck to say, like, especially because I get to talk to K-pop stans at work. Like, you'd be surprised how many people are K-pop stans in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s. So I do meet plenty of K-pop fans at my job, and it sucks to say, but usually, unless somebody is like a HYBE artist stan, they generally don't know who TXT is. But mind you, how many people stan HYBE artists? Like, there are definitely enough people who stan TXT to sell out all of these shows. Like, it's 2 shows, and the capacity overall would be 40,000 people. They could definitely sell that out, especially with the amount of people who will come from overseas. So I don't understand why they've gone and made more tickets available to non-fans, especially when we know those tickets are just going to go to scalpers, and all those people are just going to buy the tickets to try and resell them. They're not going to go to the concert anyway, and they're probably going to just cancel the tickets once they don't sell, because most people don't want to buy resale. I wonder if they're going to do Weverse year-end concert. I doubt it, because they did Weverse Con this summer. They didn't do a year-end concert last year either, and I think the reason was it was overlapping with SM's concert, which was on New Year's Day, and because of the weekend, that would have been the only time that they could have done Weverse Con. But yeah, I think moving forward they might do Weverse Festival like they did this year in the summer, which honestly I think is better anyway, because with award shows and Gaios and all that kind of stuff that happens at the end of the year, like, this just isn't time. Even this year for TXT's comeback, with them having their comeback in October, them having award shows in November, and then them having their concert in December, and then there's Gaios in December, it's way too much. So I can actually see TXT not going to a lot of award shows this year because they just don't have the time in their schedule. So yeah, I can see them not doing the Weverse Con in December anymore and just keeping it as a summer thing, and I think that's better anyway. Like, if they do it early summer, because June was really flipping hot. Like, global warming is really heating up Korea, and it was like 35 degrees, which I believe in Fahrenheit is like near 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like 95 to 100, something like that. So it's really flipping hot. So yeah, if they're gonna keep it as a summer event, I hope they would do it early summer, like kind of May time, rather than June, July, because it's just way too hot. But yeah, like, it is a shock. It's a shock because I'm just like, even if you were gonna do this system, why not just have Moas be able to buy two tickets? Because at least that way you know it's actual fans who are actually gonna show up and who want to go to the concert. I just don't see why you're giving more opportunities to scalpers. And it sucks because even if people do buy those tickets, they're going to pay extortionate prices that don't benefit TXT or the company anyway. So there's really no reason to do it this way. And again, if they had done a raffle, they can guarantee that at least real fans will be going to the concert. So honestly, I don't understand. The only reason I can say that maybe they did it this way is because for Yoongi's concert, they also didn't do a raffle for the finals, but I can see that making sense because of the time. It was a very tight schedule if they were going to do a raffle, but for TXT they have literally like 2 months. I just can't think of a decent reason why they decided to do it this way, but it is what it is. Also, I was talking to a friend yesterday. Her name's Ariel, and you'll see her on my channel very soon, actually. But we were talking about it because she's also a Moa, and she said that she thought that Do It Like That was not supposed to happen. Like, they had planned to have the comeback in September and then do the encore concert in October, which is what I initially thought would happen as well. But when they announced Do It Like That, I was like, oh. And then they announced the comeback, and I was like, oh, we're not getting an encore. And then I assumed that we weren't going to have an encore concert at all. And then they announced it in December. And I think it's because everything between September to December was booked up already. So they had to go like super late in the year because that was all that was available. So yeah, and also, this is again just like speculation, with the fact that their schedule is going to be, because they're going to do promotions all through October and probably into November, and then they're going to have to get ready for their content that the first week of December. So with award shows this year starting in November, I can see it that they're not going to be going to a lot of award shows, and I think the reason is that Hive is doing basically what SM do, which is they don't send their idols to award shows where they're not winning anything, which sucks to say, because I will do a separate video on who I think deserves to win all the awards. Because let's be real, because BTS has not been active as a group this year, Group of the Year, Best Male Artist, all this kind of stuff is going to be really spread out. I do think BTS is still going to win some awards, absolutely, but I don't think, for example, like Artist of the Year, I don't think BTS are going to win this year because they haven't released anything as a group this year, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's going to be a lot of competition for those, and I feel like a lot of companies are not going to send their artists to shows where they feel like they're being discredited. And I know for example, FMAs, which is usually in October, that's what I went to last year, TXT and BTS went last year, and they both won awards last year. Neither of them are going this year, and I feel like they're not going to win any awards this year. So, and actually no, I don't think the only Hype artist going to the Fat Music Awards is Boy Next Door, and I think no SM artists are going to the Fat Music Awards. So yeah, I can see that like probably TXT won't be at a lot of award shows, unless, oh no, I'm gonna talk about it in a different video. I'm gonna save that for a different video. But yeah, I have my predictions for what I think is gonna happen at award shows this year, and mind you, they're just what I think will happen, not what I want to happen. So when that video comes out, please don't eat me alive. But yeah, I personally don't think TXT will be getting all they deserve this year, if I'm completely honest with you, and that's probably why they can afford to prioritize their concert over award shows anyway. Opinion on ENHYPEN's webcomic coming to an end. I'm genuinely surprised it lasted this. Okay, I personally was not a fan of any of the webcomics. I liked the Save Me one they did for BTS because it was tied to the Hwa Yang Yonhwa universe. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. When they did, I can't remember what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. When they did basically the BTS, the TXT, and the ENHYPEN webcomics, I was like, but why though? I fully understand that people who like Korean pop culture tend to like comic books or K-dramas as well as K-pop. I completely get that. But for example, with the BTS one, I just don't get why they went with like this dystopian story out of nowhere. Like, what part of the ARMY or BTS universe or anything like this has given you the impression that we like dystopian stories? Like, it just felt very left field to me. And also the fact that it's not actually about the Chaco, thank you, that it's not about the members. It's just about like what do you call it, it's not about the members, it's just their faces for different characters. I was like, I just don't personally see the appeal. If you're interested in those kind of stories, then I can see why you would read it, and obviously having the joy of having the faces of people you know, I completely get that. Like, I read fan fiction because it's people I know, right? But then in the fan fiction, it's actually the members. So that's the thing that I was like, I just don't get the appeal. But I do know that the ENHYPEN one has been very popular because of the story that it has, which, I mean, even, I actually have a friend who's an engine, and she was telling me the synopsis, and I was like, this literally sounds like a really popular manga from about a decade ago. But I digress. Like, oh, there should be some copyright issues here. But like, I get why it's popular, and they're having an offline, I know they're having like an offline pop-up store, I think in Everland at the moment, and it's really popular, it's selling out, people are going. I saw the story on Hitman Bang and things like that, and yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with them existing. I just felt like the way they were released was a bit random, in my personal opinion. And then for TXT's one, yeah, so there you go, you like TXT's webtoon, that's completely fair. I feel like TXT did the best job in actually relating their webcomic to their cinematic universe. mind you, I don't know anything about ENHYPEN cinematic universe, so I can't comment on that. But like, the story was not so interweaved in the same way that Save Me was, in that you don't have to read the manga to understand the main story. If the main story is even still happening, that's also another question mark. But yeah, so I just felt like it wasn't really relative. Do you think any BTS members will attend award shows? I think Jungkook has a really good chance of winning a lot of male soloist, best male soloist awards. So I can see him attending a lot and sweeping up some awards and saying a couple words for the members. Assuming that, yeah, I can see that happening, because I think he's going to enlist in December, because he's going to have his promotions for his album throughout November. So I would say that Jungkook will probably go. Speaking of enlistment, I think Jimin is waiting for all the members to release their album so he can be a part of their promotions and like just emotionally supporting them, and then he's gonna enlist. So I think he's gonna enlist shortly after Jungkook's album comes out, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks after, and then do his like the official announcement. He's cancelled his deferment and blah 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 blah. So I think that's the reason he hasn't gone yet, because I know people like Jimin isn't doing too much, so why hasn't he gone? And then obviously we know that Namjoon is working on some stuff, but I feel like everyone's going to be gone in December. So the only things they could attend are things that happen in November. And I could see Namjoon possibly winning some like, not indie, but like not mainstream categories essentially, because obviously Indigo was a well-received album internationally, but it didn't do great sales or stream-wise domestically. So it's kind of hard to say what they're going to prioritize, because there are some award shows that prioritize like global achievements over Korean achievements anyway, and that's part of the reason why I feel like TXT are not going to win as many things as they deserve, because they're just not popular in Korea, and some things popular, what do you think, some award shows prioritize domestic things over international things. But I feel like if that does happen, it'll be like maximum like 1 or 2. It's not gonna be like a load of awards for Namjoon, unfortunately. Jimin's comeback, as great as it was, I feel like it kind of rose and fell very quickly, so I don't see it getting any awards. And then Yoongi is never been mainstream, so yeah, obviously he's already in the military, so he's not gonna get anything. Opinion on the debut, The Dream Academy. Honestly, I love how you guys keep asking about all these non-BTXT readings. That's a hard question. I'm actually still undecided about whether I'm gonna watch it. I think it's already started, right? Sorry, TXT is really distracting. I'm kind of undecided if I'm gonna watch it, because I don't really care that much for girl groups anyway. I've had like 1 or 2 girl groups that I've been like even just remotely emotionally invested in, so I'm not particularly crazy about any of them. And I've never really been into the appeal of like the Produce 101 or like, you know, all those TV shows where they have all the kids competing against each other. I've never watched one to begin with, so I'm kind of like, clearly they're popular for a reason. Maybe I should give this one a try just to see if it's interesting. But honestly, my biggest problem is time. Like, I don't even have time to watch things. And I know they're already doing like votes and stuff, so yeah, I mean, as a concept, it's nothing new. And also there's and if they do come up as a girl group, I doubt they're gonna come out through Big Hit anyway. They will be under Hybe, obviously, but it's not gonna be a big hit girl group, so again, does it really matter? No offense. And also, I am kind of undecided again. Like, I'm on the fence about the whole training young kids to be idols and having them debut when they're still minors and all this kind of thing. Like, I know that's a big conversation. For me, personally, I don't really have a problem with young people debuting, as long as they're not being sexualized at a young age. Which, even for example, LE SSERAFIM, I think all of them are over 18 now, but when they first came out, their concept, like some of the outfits they would wear on stage, like and stuff like that, would be like, this feels uncomfortable. Like, just being completely honest, watching it, like even for some of the members who aren't young or aren't minors, but they really look young. And I mean, I guess, yeah, they're individuals, they're allowed to do what they want with their bodies ultimately, but it did feel a little bit uncomfortable at times to see them in like really revealing things, despite having a very young look. And I feel like New Jeans is a prime example of how you can still be trendy and cool and still keep it neutral mind you, I do also know about the cookie controversy, and I have many opinions on that as well. I do think that song was inappropriate, but I digress. But yeah, I will be interested to see if the Dream Academy does better than Island, though, because Island had 0 ratings in Korea. Nobody watched it. Like, I cannot stress, nobody was interested in Island domestically, but it was really popular overseas, and I wonder if the Dream Academy will be the same thing, or if it will be popular in Korea as well. And even with like A-Team, I don't know how you're supposed to read the name. Same thing again, like I don't know for the Japanese audience, but I know nobody in Korea watched it. Nobody in Korea is even keeping up to date with what they're doing. I just see them every now and again on TikTok. I'm like, on TikTok, on Instagram, I'm just like, oh yeah, you guys exist. So anyway, okay, we've only got 5 minutes left because I want to wrap up within an hour. The last thing I wanted to mention was something I'm personally very excited for, and that is that I got into Tae's mini fan meeting. You know what? I don't even know how to describe how happy but also how surprised I am that this happened, because I didn't actually try. That's the bit that really got me. For every other comeback that's happened for chapter 2, I have applied for everything. All the side posters, all the video calls, all the special stages. I've applied. I've bought albums upon albums upon albums for everything. And thank you, it's Auntie, thank you. And I never got into anything. Not one. And for Tae, I completely forgot this event was happening, honestly. I just wanted to buy the, you know, like they have the post-release Weverse PVC photo cards. But I brought albums for that, and I brought albums for like 2 other people. So 9 albums in total, just 9. And then I saw the like the pop-up announcement, like, oh, don't forget to apply. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't apply for this. And I applied, and I completely forgot about it. And then I woke up one day and I was, you know, as you do, you wake up and the first thing you do is you check your phone. So I was checking like Instagram, and somebody was celebrating the fact that they got picked. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing this is happening. So I went and I checked, and I saw that I got in, and I was like, I don't know if you saw, I posted the video on Twitter and on Instagram, but that is like my real-time reaction. Like, I just started freaking because I couldn't believe it. Like, I genuinely had no expectations. I was not hoping for anything. And not only that as well, but Tae's album is my favorite of the solo work that we've got so far. I love all the other ones as well, but like Tae's album, if I was a musician, Layover is the kind of music that I would make. So even from the pre-release songs, Rainy Day and Love Me Again, like I was already gone, and then the whole album is just, it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. This guy's, like, I love Tae's voice anyway, but like the style, the voice, him being able to sing in his low register, like comfortably, everything about this album is perfect to me, even down to the packaging. And I actually recorded a whole video, which is probably gonna be my next video, so look forward to it. But seeing his like creativity in the packaging, the amount of stuff we got inside the album, the music that we got, the amount of performances and promotions that he did, like this has been one of the most satisfying comebacks for me personally. And the fact that this is the one that I get to see live, it's just, I feel blessed, like genuinely. Like I honestly can't believe it. Like I have not stopped talking about this at work, and people are just like, has it happened yet? I'm like, it's not for like another 3 weeks, but I'm so excited now. So yeah, I'm super duper excited to see this. The venue, this is the actual venue by the way, flipping gorgeous. The only problem is the event is the same day as TXT Showcase, which I've also applied for. And for some reason they decided to do the showcase at 4 PM instead of 6 or 7, which is the time they would normally do it. And not just that, the venues are 2 hours apart. So they haven't announced the time for Tae's just yet, but I'm really hoping that it's early enough in the day, because I'm only expecting Tae to last for like an hour anyway. So I'm hoping that it's early enough in the day that I can get back to Seoul to go to TXT, or at least to watch TXT's stream as well. And it really annoys me because I'm like, big hit, they are both your artists. Like I get it, within Hybe there's like different companies, so yeah, things can overlap. But for Big Hit, there should be no reason why their promotions are overlapping with each other. Like separate them so that people who are fans of both groups can go and enjoy both artists. Like it's so annoying having to pick. For me, for this occasion, if it does end up overlapping and I do get into the showcase, I will go for Tae, because one, I haven't got into anything for BTS since before COVID, so I just need to see my boys. I mean, I did go to PDT, but I ticketed for that. I didn't go to Busan because I had COVID, and I saw them at TMA's last year for work, so it was like a fluke that I got to see them. Like, I have not seen these. Oh, I saw Yoongi as well, but I ticketed for that as well. Oh my god, if those encore concerts did not happen for Yoongi, I don't think I would be the same person. But yeah, for me, I definitely enjoyed, excuse me, I just need to plug this in. I definitely enjoyed Tae's album the most, so I'm really looking forward to this performance. I think the venue is so quintessentially him, which is probably why they changed it to Outside of Seoul. But I just really hope they pick a decent time so that it doesn't overlap with TXT. In my opinion, on their solo albums, V and RM are chilling, J-Hope, Sugar and Jimin are hype and intense, Jin being in space, and I can't rate JK as we're waiting for his album. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, I would say, it's actually really hard because one thing, like, people keep saying it as well, it's like, they've all got their own colour. And honestly, I've really enjoyed everybody's comebacks. There's not been a comeback so far where I've been disappointed, with the exception of 3D, I guess. But like, they've all delivered ultimately. So it's so hard to even, like, for me to say that Tae's is my favorite. It was really difficult to even say that because they all appeal to me in different ways. Like, if I'm honest, I probably stream Yoongi's the most, but then when I hear it, I have the strongest emotional reaction to Indigo or The Astronaut or Jack in the Box. So, like, nobody left anything to be, oh, that being said, Hyunjin makes me cry every time. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, like, nobody left anything to be desired. All of these guys have given us what they always give us ultimately. Like, we have faith in them for a reason, and they've yet to let us down. So yeah, I'm very blessed anyway, very happy to finally be able to participate in something, and this is a little bit paid, but I hope we get like a memento, like how people have got something from like the live performances and stuff. I hope we can have something physical to remember the day. But yeah, I'm really excited for that, and I actually had to move because I work Saturdays as well, and I had to move one of my shifts to clear up this Saturday, so I actually have a shift in the middle of my vacation, but it's fine. I can do anything for BTS, no problem. But yeah, I'm hoping I also get into the TXT showcase, and I am still umming and ahhing about applying for the TXT offline fan sign, but the problem is that it's on a Tuesday, and I'm like, guys, please stop putting things in the middle of the week. Even the ticketing for TXT is also on a Wednesday, so I was like, oh, stress. But yeah, anyway. Okay, that is everything that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was really exciting to have people actually come in and participate and talk to me and chill with me throughout this hangout. So I really, really appreciate you guys for coming and showing up. And I hope to see you guys in the next one, which will be at the end of next month, where I'll be able to give you my actual like live experience of what Tae was like and all this kind of stuff. I can't wait to see you guys next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed the videos that will be coming very soon. This has been Hans from the Haniverse. Thanks for stopping by.